Hi, welcome to E2 World. We are here to learn a topic in biology, that is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which the plants convert light energy into chemical energy. We can also say that the conversion of sunlight to usable form of energy takes place in this process. The equation of photosynthesis is right here, which shows that carbon dioxide combines with water to give sugar and oxygen. So sugar is a chemical compound, so we can say it has which form of energy? Chemical energy. Now let us try to understand where it occurs and how it takes place. Now photosynthesis, it occurs in plants. As I told you, plants are also known as autotrophs. Auto means self. The plants are the organisms able to make their own food, so we can also call them autotrophs. Whereas animals are called heterotrophs because they are dependent on plants for their food or survival. Now, why this takes place only in plants? Because plants have got some organelle present in their cell, which is known as chloroplast. This is the site of photosynthesis. Now, chloroplast helps in photosynthesis, that's fine, but how it works and what is the structure of this organelle, we will try to understand. This is the slide which shows the leaves have got if we see the cross section of the leaves, we will find that they have got chloroplast right in the mesophyll area. These are palisade cells. These are palisades layer. We can say palisade cells are there in this layer, and we have another layer, that is spongy layer. So two layers are there, and these layers are having those cells which consist of chloroplast. At the same time, the stomata can be seen here. These are the pores. These are the pores found on the lower surface of the leaf, where the carbon dioxide is taken in and CO2 releases out. So these stomata, they are the respiratory pores. Like we have got lungs, similarly plants have got stomata. Exchange of gases takes place here. Now we can see mesophyll cell having chloroplast. This is one chloroplast you can see. Let us talk about the structure of the chloroplast. It has got many regions. The ground surface, let me show you. If this is the ground substance of the chloroplast, we call it stroma. This is stroma. It is a gel-like substance which surrounds grana. Okay, so it is a fluid-like substance and it is surrounding grana. What is grana? These are the stacks of thylakoids. These thylakoids, they are membranous sacs. So these thylakoids are flattened membrane bounded sacs. They are grouped together to form grana. There can be 40 to 60 grana in one chloroplast. Alright, let's not forget to know about the membranes, which is really giving protection to this organelle. Outer layer, there are two layers, two main layers are there. There's one more layer in this in between these two layers. We call it intermembrane. So let's not forget this to write intermembrane layer. And what outer layer does, as we know, it is outer layer, so it protects as well as it shows permeability for ions and metabolites. Whereas the inner layer, which is longer than the outer one, it is specialized with transport proteins and helps in transportation of the materials, as well as we must know that it is less permeable. What are the raw materials required in photosynthesis, or you can say the reactants? So we know sunlight is important. uh, we do have other things: carbon dioxide, which is taken from the atmosphere; water, taken from the earth, or from the soil with the help of roots of the plants; and chlorophyll as a green, it is a green pigment. It gives color, and it gives color to the plant. At the same time, it traps the sunlight, so it is doing very important function. So these are the raw materials which are required in photosynthesis. Now we come to the reactions taking place in photosynthesis. What are the reactions? There are two reactions: light dependent reaction, because it takes place in light, and light independent reaction, which is also called Calvin cycle. Now this is also known as dark reaction. We call it dark reaction, and this one as light reaction. Light is not required in this reaction, that's why it is called dark reaction. We can also call light dependent reaction as Hill reaction. It was discovered by Hill. And light independent reaction can also be called as Calvin cycle, because he is the person who gave cyclic pathway, that is, we call it Calvin cycle. Now as we see here, the water, what happens in light dependent reaction? Let's know. The water, it gives out oxygen and ATP, NADPH in presence of light energy, where this reaction is taking place. It is taking place in the thylakoid region. So the water, it contributes in the formation of oxygen, and it also releases ATP and NADPH, which will be used. These are energy molecules. They will be used in light independent reaction. They will help in the formation of glucose in this reaction, as we can see here. So this pathway is also known as biosynthetic, because sugar will be synthesized here. So as we see, the pathway shows that carbon dioxide along with water, it occurs in stromata to give sugar, and these are the two products which are formed in photosynthesis. So light dependent reaction, light independent reaction. We can see here, this is a diagram which very clearly shows how the two reactions are dependent on each other. As we see, light falls on grana, the electrons get excited, and a lot of like we have two photo systems. We will be talking about these things in our coming slides, but here we can see that this is grana. This is grana, and here the light reaction takes place, where the water, it changes, it forms oxygen, and it also give out ATP and NADPH. So these ATP and NADPH, what are they? Let me tell you. ATP is energy carrier molecule, and it helps in it helps in storing energy, adenosine triphosphate. And NADPH, it is simply a NAD carrier. NAD means NAD. NAD is it is an coenzyme, and NADPH, it is a NAD carrier. It carries both phosphate and hydrogen ions to different stages of photosynthetic reaction. So both these together uh, enters Calvin cycle, which happens in stroma, and we get sugar as the resultant product. At the same time, what happens to these two? ATP changes into ADP and NADPH get reduced to NADP plus. Now, what are the products of photosynthesis? We have already talked about this. Oxygen, which is a gas, we can write O2, and glucose is C6H12O6. So these two are the products of photosynthesis. This will release in the air or the atmosphere, and the glucose will be taken by the plants as their food, and it will be stored in the form of starch. Okay, now this is the summarized photosynthesis. We can see the chemical equation, and we can see how the CO2, how these reactants they are combining to give a chemical compound, that is glucose. Now photosynthesis is important. Why? We have many reasons to say that photosynthesis is very important for this for our planet, because it is a process which occurs only in plants. It gives food to animals and heterotrophic plants. So we can say these animals and heterotrophic plants are dependent on these autotrophs for their food, for their survival. At the same time, we get lot of photosynthetic products which are produced by trees, which are produced by plants. We get fruits, we get gums, we get resins, wood. These products are utilized as food to get energy for doing work. This is a process in which the inorganic material is getting changed into organic food. And we know what is organic food, that is C6H12O6. This photosynthesis process, it helps in balancing the gases in the atmosphere. We know we have around 0.03% of carbon dioxide and 21% of oxygen in the atmosphere. So the plants, they maintain this level by decreasing the concentration of CO2. They take CO2 and they release oxygen. So they are helping us a lot. We can say that life without photosynthesis would thus not be possible. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.